Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another Dead Rock chapter review. Chapter 8, Yakiko versus Cougar. But before that, I'm just gonna, because I know I am very, very, very late from like the last chapter review. The reason that being is because I wanted Luckychi to be with me to review all the Dead Rock chapters. But due to some things that are affecting Luckychi, he was unable to join me for streams, and as a result, chapter after chapter after chapter came out, and at the moment I am a bit far behind. I am planning to discuss all the chapters that we have not yet reviewed with him at some point, but I feel like for the very least, I'm going to try and review these chapters individually without him. So at the very least, let's see, there's still the separate reviews that people can watch or listen to before going on to the actual big discussion. Pretty much this chapter follows up from the last one where after everyone learned what happened to Yakiko's family, you saw which people decided to side with Ritsu Yakiko and which ones were against. Mainly, Hani, Frey, teamed up with Yakiko, while for those in class F would be that decided not to do were Mikoto, Ryzen, and Hien. There is no sign of Chaco, I believe. Yeah, it's Chaco, but there's no sign of Chaco, but so it's like this class group was split 3-3. Eventually, we learned that the mysterious Nico girl was actually Chaco herself. So she is also on the side, and where they're now trying to search the library to find God, but they end up encountering this lion man called Cougar, who is a powerful student who is a third year, goes the route of Red Lion, has a thing for attractive girls, kidnaps Frey, and now the students are battling Cougar. The remaining students are battling Cougar in the Red Library, where they're still trying to find out what the other members of the class discuss, where Babel the Hecknator is. With many theorizing he might be underground. But and that ended the chapter last time. But now we pretty much focus on, as the this title this chapter implies, you're going to have Yakiko versus Cougar. But before that, we're going to get to the profile pick, in which now cover pick, which is now the profile of Raisin. With the details of his chapter of his character, which is root is Orochi. He's class 1F. He likes his sword and dislikes Yakiko. That makes sense. He seems to, as I recall, he values his sword, and at the moment he's been most vocal against Yakiko's goal of trying to slay God and doesn't really want to be a part of it. So, yeah. So at the moment he does not like them, and he is not going to help him. Might even try to kill him if he gets a chance. But at the moment, but I can pretty much see him becoming a reluctant ally long term, especially if I believe, it's Mikoto decides to join Yakiko in the end. But yeah. Also, there's a little description in the note saying he's pretty good with sword, but he got killed by Dead Rock's head chef. After that, Markov override him as a zombie. He calls his favorite sword Princess, but the reason for that is unknown. I'm assuming that if I had to guess from the description of that note, I assume that an actual princess's soul is inside his sword. That's my theory. Anyway, the chapter begins in the library, which has become a labyrinth for the eyeball watching, with Yakuza wondering wasn't this a library, but Hani says it still is and calls him stupid. With Chaco saying how they're going to try and find Frey now, as well as the book with God's weaknesses, with Yakiko saying that they can worry about that later, that they need to find Frey at first. And this is where Hani says that it's just his bookshelves, right? Then he will smash them, which he does, but he ends up cracking himself, shocking like both Yakito and Chaco, with Yakito saying, might as well try and put him back together, but Hanin says, like, that mess, what you called putting me back together last time, was not really putting me back together, calling Yakito stupid. So as a result, let's discuss what happened. Chaco just comments, okay, so we now know what happens when we attack the books. She ends up stepping on, Honey, saying, hey, are you stepping on me, bird? But anyway, Honey says that he can fix himself. So, just tells the others to go find Frey, meaning that, Honey is out of the fight already. With, Yakuko understanding what Hani wants to do, say, okay, let's get moving. Let's get moving with Chakuko going along, but she's still stepping on Hanin, which annoys him. Anyway, we cut to Cougar and his minion Jack saying how they're lost in the labyrinth, but Jack's trying to say that, but Cougar's just going Jatami over the Googling over the biscuit of Frey that's been sealed, with him telling Jack to bring her back, which he does, and then we see Frey back to her normal form, with Cougar being a bit blushing and like, oh, she's so beautiful, but then it gets a bit creepy and giving her smooch while she is unconscious. As he thinks about Lady Luck has alighted upon Monseri, or I don't know. I think he's trying to say himself in French. If I had to guess, if that's not French, I apologize to French people. It's been ages since I even attempted to learn your language. But he's talking about how the heavens have granted him a good fortune, telling Jack to guard the girl for him, which he says. Which he asks where Cougar is going, whether he's saying that he's going to find the brat with the cheeky eyes and kill him, which I'm assuming he's probably referring to Yakuto, saying about how this library is like his backyard. But anyway, you got Yakuto and Chaco searching the library and walking through it in its labyrinth, with them. And I'm wondering if the Yakuto wonder if they already came this way, with her saying that no, she remembers the books they saw and they were mystery novels, and she ends up pulling out a book and pointing out that these are dirty books, with one of them saying, "Hey, these are dirty books," and the other saying, "Why are these in the school library?" As we see a rather sexy devil lady on the cover, though I'm wondering if it might be a Scubrus. Granted, it looks like that's. Granted, I might be looking into it, but it might be that sniper girl from Fairy Tale. But anyway, Cougar's grunts have found the new kids, and they comment that the minions. If I see Yakuto commenting that they're going to be a hassle, but Chaco says that she's going to show off her powers then. With the burglars saying they're going to catch you guys and bring them to Cougar-san, trying to do a minute in Ra. That's so, and then you have Chaco saying, well, no, actually, one of them is going like, we're going to beat you black and blue, but this is where Chaco's step forward and then gets annoyed, saying, that line didn't spare me a glance, even though I'm a girl too. That pisses her off. Which kind of shocks Yakuto, going the beady eyes like what? Kind of look. As she declares that they're all dead meat, some black appears to be black flames or black aurora or something pops out in the middle of them, and one of them gets grabbed by a black arm. Another gets blacked. Let's see, another one gets grabbed as well. It looks like some sort of cat demon. I had to guess. Well, they're all getting grabbed and then being bashed in the skull thing as they realize that it's black magic, as I think some cat-like figure starts showing up. And then we get a double-page spread of Chaco, using the black flames or whatever black kind of magic it is. And her form has changed to a look that's very similar to Zeref from Fairy Tale, which, to be honest, for me, it's a little too by the nudge by Hiro Mashima here. I mean, granted, it looks fine, but I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking it's too on the nose, really, and also I feel like it looks better on Zerf. But anyway, the grants are all being knocked down, with Yakito being impressed by Chaco going about how a black wizard and black dragon and a black wizard, we make a pretty good team. With him just being a bit surprised by Yako being surprised by that, saying that now they can ask where Frey-san is. With her saying that too bad Makio's not here, she can make them into zombies, which as she's stepping on them, implying that she probably actually killed them in that fight. And this is where you get Mikito sneezing with Raisin going like, "Is she sick or something?" But she says, "No, it's just a sneeze." With him asking, "Aren't you cold in their bare feet?" Stark's asking about the bare feet anyway, and wondering what it's about. Well, it's revealed she absorbs her power from the ground, so it's a lot more convenient for her. And then you get Hien thinking about the time Hien and Yakito saved him. Of him saying that you saved us before, so are you one? Saying that we're reminding him of that flashback, saying he owed him a favor for saving him. So saying let's get to Deck Rock together. But let's see, you get Hien going like, "Damn it," let's see, and starts walking off, implying that he's going to go and try and at the very least help Yakito in some way. But anyway, then cut back to Chaco and Yakito, where they're saying that saying a revelation of "that's it," which confuses Yakito, going like the beady eyes and going like, "Huh?" With her saying this library is designed to show you whatever book you want to read. With Yakito pointing out, "So does that mean with those dirty books?" See, Chakago just shuts him up before he goes further on, and she's blushing and showing her embarrassment at his implications. So she says they need to find a book that just asks about Frey, but Yakugo, there's no way a book would show, and then it's like Frey's place, and it's like, or speech bubble goes up, or text box saying Frey's location. With Yakugo being going like, "What the heck? What is this library?" And Chakugo going like, "Look, there's a map," saying that we now can go to Frey-san. But they hear someone saying, "I don't know about that," as someone puts a book saying "Cheeky New Kids Location," showing a cover of Yakiko and Chaco. As Cougar is standing in front of them, thinking about how he's the wildest baddie in Dead Rock history, and he's right in front of you, you know. And Yakiko's just staring at him. With Chaco saying baddies don't really hang out in the library. With Cougar saying that God doesn't let you. He comes here because God doesn't really come near this place at all. With Yakuto asking why is that. With him saying he doesn't really know, but thinks that he's probably got all the books in his head already. With Yakuto wondering maybe it's related to God's weakness. And now you got Cougar saying now he's going to kill them for love as he's preparing to his fist to punch Yakuto. Yakuto turns to his arm to a dragging arm. They punch each other and the fists clash. But Yakuto his fist is not as strong as he gets blown back. And then let's see, Cougar saying that while Yakuto, you got Chaco saying Yakuto's name and concern. You got Cougar saying that's an interesting power that Yakuto has, but says that he's really no match for a red lion. And goes, "Behold, my corpse brilliant," activating his root, going full red lion, and then smashing Yakuto to the ground, kicking him. With Yakuto saying it's not that he can use his power, he's just and saying that he's just so strong. As you just see him getting punched again by Cougar in the face, with him just smiling as a result. With him going like, "What's that power?" With Chaco going into the Black Wizard, trying to use the Black Wizard magic, but gets grabbed by Cougar, and which surprises her as she gets thrown. Yakuto cries her name out in concern, using a move called Heat, or at least Yakuto's saying Heat, and he's as Kuga says he's going to smash him to bits, preparing to punch him again. But he arrives with the ice, with his ice root of sorts. It goes like saying his pet debt is now paid to Yakuto, which surprises Yakuto, and Chako calls him Doggy, with Kuga saying Little Master Hien, with Hien saying Long time no see, Kuga, and the chapter ends with both Yakuto and Chakato saying they know each other, and like Little Master, being confused by the little dialogue at the end with them talking to each other, ending the chapter. Okay, overall thoughts. I like the design of the library labyrinth, and I like let's see how the group is then discussing how they're going to find God's books and Frey, but they prioritize Frey first. However, I'm not really a fan of Hanin going to saying like I'm going to smash the place up with his hammer, which okay, as a result he gets busted, and well, it means he's out of the fight. I was hoping that we get to see at least some of his skills again, but it seems like it's going to probably become a running gag where he gets smashed to bits and going to be left out of the fight or needs helping. So that's a little disappointing. But I guess he really is sort of like a mascot character, as the mascots don't really fight, and he ends up being so likely, even though he can probably fight a bit, he's probably going to get knocked out of the fight somehow or be broken to pieces and needed to be repaired earlier. But I did like the little funny so on one hand, I'm not really fond of him being cut out of the action of the story, but at the very least, I do find it funny how the others react to him being smashed to pieces, and Yakuto saying, "You know what? I'll go put you back together." But Hani going like, "You didn't really put me back together. That was a mess you left me in." So it's like I can do it myself. So we learn he can put himself back together, which probably makes sense since Yakuto didn't really put him properly back together. But I do find it funny how I also find it funny how Chakato ends up stepping on Hanin a bit, and it does it twice, and he's like, "Would you stop doing that at me? Would you stop doing that at me, bird?" Anyway, I find Kuga to be a bit too creepy with like kissing Frey when she's unconscious, and granted, I think his perviness is going to be a bit of a problem for him as he asks Jack to release Frey, which if she wakes up, she's going to try and kick Jack's butt, if you will, and which I think is going to be the biggest mistake of like this chapter. I mean, I know what happens in the next two chapters, but I am keeping myself to the context of this review. But yeah, Kuga is a bit of a creep, but then again, it seems dead. Like Hiro Mashima said, this series is a bit more darker than his previous work. So granted, some people thought let's see, Hiro Mashima crossed the lines a few times, particularly with It Fairy Tail and Eden Zero. But yeah. Granted, I guess Frey should be glad that's all that really happened to her when she was unconscious, because there can be a lot more worse things, which frankly, let's see, Dead Rock has not gotten into. But anyway, I do like how we end up seeing that we learn a bit of a, okay, Derpy Entertainment says, hello there. And I'm going like, General Derpy Entertainment, as I usually do with Star Wars puns. Interesting that you're here on a Dead Rock review, because normally I only ever really see you for like a Star Wars review that I'm doing, which I'm not really doing the Bad Batch or Tales of the Jedi today. But look, granted, I did the Tales of the Jedi all-in-one review. I am planning to do the Bad Batch review. I'll either do it tomorrow or Monday, as I think that those are the 2 days when I should have free time as well to do it. Though I'm hoping to also do another Dead Rock review. But I am going to do that Bad Batch review of the latest episode, but just not today. I'm just doing Dead Rock. So if you want questions about Dead Rock or want to chat, but now you've gone, so you're no longer there. So I've probably just rambled enough about that. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, thoughts on the library. We get let's see, the library seems to have any book that you can find. Let's see. If you're looking for a book of like people's locations, they have it. And if you're looking for like books on let's see, dirty school things, you can have it. And I do like how Yakiko's saying, "What's with this library? Why would they have this stuff?" Especially in part of the dirty books, because there's no way any school is going to have something like that in in their in their in their libraries. Well, okay, maybe universities and maybe universities will have some form of type of smutty books for like some sort of, let's see, literature class or something, or I don't know, something like that. But or maybe some sex ed class. But there's no way like schools would normally have those kind of books at all, especially in the younger ones. There's no way they'd have that. Those books would be banned from the school. So you've got the little jokes there. But I do like how when Chaco points out, okay, the book's locations will help you what you want to find, which after the mystery novels, it's like the dirty books, which makes Yakuto wonder, wait, does that mean you wanted to see these dirty books? And she's like, no, shut up, getting all blushed and embarrassing, implying that she might have a smutty hobby at the very least. So we're learning a bit of Chakako this chapter, which leads to the next bit where she ends up taking the grunts. It seems like since she's a girl, she doesn't like it when even though she probably dodged the bullet by not being kidnapped by Kuga, she seems to get annoyed that even though she's a girl, she gets annoyed when by other guys, implying that she wants other guys at the very least to see her pretty. But she ends up being a bit jealous. So this does lead me to wonder if this will be a recurring theme where people oogle Frey and maybe Mikoto, but not her, and she gets annoyed and jealous. But it is a little funny how Yakuto reacts. Wait, what? Like, this is your issue or something? But anyway, since her magic root is black magic, her ability and fighting style seems to be similar to Seraph's, or at least the costume is. Granted, I'm not sure if I saw Seraph use black magic like that. Now, granted, I can't tell if it's shadows or flames. It looks, I guess it might just be the art style, but I'm assuming it's going to be like some sort of shadowy figures. And we see how she uses it, where she uses it to grab people and smash them into objects, arguably killing them. At least I assume they're killing, because she's wondering if, too bad Mikoto's not here, because we can use a corpse. I'm fine with the ability, but I have mixed feelings on Chaco's Black Zera form, if you will. I think it's clearly a homage to Heroes fairy tale with Zeref, and you've got like the Black Wizard and Black Dragon kind of thing. But I'll get to that in a bit. But honestly, I feel like this is too much of a bit of Easter egg. I would prefer she had a bit more of original design, though. I guess there's some ways that it's different from Zeref's with the way it's been drawn. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. I guess the Nico cat hairstyle doesn't really go with it for me. But that's just, I guess, me there. Anyway, I do like how Chaco goes, like how a Black Dragon, Black Wizard make a good team. I do wonder if this might imply more shipping bait, because it's like since they're both similar theming let's see roots, they might end up being more of a tag team in the future. Who knows? Would they become like a couple? I do not know. It might be possible that this entire manga doesn't do any couples, or it's possible, like I think me and Luckychi have said, there might be a bit of a harem for Yakuto by the end of this, but I could be wrong. on in a second, but yeah. But I do like how Etsy, when she mentions Mikoto with the whole zombie things, you get her sneezing like, oh, someone's mentioned me kind of thing. But, well, she doesn't say that directly, but it's that little trope. Though granted, this gives reason to ask her some questions like, is she sick? But she says that she's fine. And ends up asking about her feet when she's wondering if she's cold without it, and then starts to wonder why on earth why you have your feet bare anyway. In which we learn that her powers work, but she absorbs power from the ground, so it's a lot more convenient for her to be bare feet. So we now understand that part of the design. It matches with her power, which should probably make sense. Anyway, I do like how Ian is thinking back to when Yakuto saved him, and it's like he seems to be, as we see in the end of the chapter, he feels obligated to owe Yakuto a debt, and is planning to pay that as he goes to find them. So yeah, anyway, which of course he manages to stop Kuga from killing Yakuto. But speaking of which, we get to that bit there after they use the sort of library to do locations on the books. But yeah, where Kuga's got a very tough guy design, though, even though I think he's a bit of a creep. But yeah. But we end up learning a bit of important piece of information in regards to God and this library. It's that he doesn't really come here, so despite the fact that he's a sort of like a bad boy or a punk, which Chaco points out, they don't normally come to the library. It's like the reason he does is because God doesn't really come here. He's not sure himself, but he assumes that God must know every thing in the library anyway. But Yakuto, of course, ends up asking these questions, might wonder if it's possible that the library is related to his weakness, and maybe it might be related to the book that they're trying to look for. But yeah. Anyway, I do like that we got a bit of a fist fight between Yakuto and Kuga. It looked like at first going to be evenly matched, but unfortunately, it's a Yakuto probably weakened from the dragon fin, though with his power decrease, but he can only do a dragon arm, though granted. He does comment that Kuga is pretty strong himself, so which to be fair, he's a first year and he's a third year, so arguably he should be stronger. And of course, he's getting Bitsy beaten and all that, and even with Chaco trying to help, he's able to grab her and send her flying. So yeah, it's pretty impressive bit of display of Bitsy power there as the two fight each other, showing that Kuga appears to be the stronger fighter, but as a result, you've got Hien coming in with his ice just to block him as he's about to do a more heat-based attack. And this is where, of course, like I said earlier, he's come to pay his debt, and it leads to an interesting bit of a cliffhanger where it's revealed, of course, Hien and Kuga actually know each other. It's like little master, and he's saying like, "Long time no see, Kuga." And this just shocks Yakuto and Chaco, who does the bit of the beady eye, both do the beady eyes like, huh, kind of look. And I do like how Yakuto's like, they know each other, and she's like, young master, because she keeps calling him doggy, so because of his ears. So that's a little bit funny. I mean, it's a mix of comedy and seriousness as a cliffhanger, and I think for the most part it works here, especially with the punching, especially with like Hien using the ice to block this sort of punch. Overall, I'll give this chapter a 7.5 out of 10. I'm a little disappointed with Hani getting sidelined by being smashed to pieces, finding Kuga a bit too creepy with Frey, and not entirely a full-on fan of Chaco's how should we call it? Chaco's Black Seraph design, too much of a similar copy to it. But I do like little jokes about the library, like what kind of library let's see, he has books of people's locations or you know smutty context, but so there's like that, and like the questions like, wait, let's see, you wanted to look for the book, does that mean? And she's like, and Chuck was like, no, but I realized, oh, so even though I'm not a fan of the costume, I do like to see the abilities she's displayed, and I do like how we've got like Cougar being a bit of an intimidating opponent, seemingly being able to beat both Yakiko and Frey at the very least, or they're not at least appear to be at the moment not strong enough to take him on, and as a result, they needed Heian to come in as he wanted to try and help repay his debt. And then we're going to learn a bit of history, and then we learn that Heian and Cougar have a bit of history for each other. So the next few chapters are going to be focusing more on Heian as the character, as we've already covered a little bit of Raisin, but we still have a bit of mystery of his sword princess. We learned that the last big one was Frey with like her sister. Now we've got on Heian's backstory, though granted we got a bit of Chaco yet, though we don't have a full backstory. Nor do we now have Raisins, and there's still, of course, Mikoto to go by, which we at the very least only learned a little bit of her abilities. But for now, that's fine for the moment. It's at least a good chapter, and I look forward to the next Dead Rock chapter, which hopefully I'll get time to review tomorrow, and then have a full-on discussion with Luckychi with all the chapters that have come out in the time being. But anyway, for those who end up listening, like Derpy Entertainment here, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say, even if only briefly. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.